Hey everyone, this is Eli from Shaky.com here with an After Effects / Sony Vegas tutorial. And today we are going over how to stabilize footage if you didn't see it in the title or, see the beginning video. And before I jump into that, let me just ask you guys, please like the video. It helps us out so much, and I know we hate asking for likes and stuff, but it helps out so much. It's crazy. The difference between us asking and us not asking is just insane. So please like this video and share it, favorite it, do whatever you want. And I'm going to be putting this project file up anyway for both and all the footage. So there's your bribe, I guess, even though it's not a bribe. I'm giving it to you anyway. And oh yeah, and if you were wondering where I was last week, I was sick. So thanks for wondering though. Yeah, I was very sick. I had a cough. I tried filming the tutorial on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I just could barely even talk. So I ended up not making it. I'm very sorry about that. But yeah, let's jump into the tutorial now. So we are learning how to stabilize footage, and we're going to start with Sony Vegas. So let me just drag this in here real quick. I'm just drag and dropping some stock footage in. This is from when Brandon and I were filming for my brother-in-law. He owns a boot camp program thing where he takes large people and he makes them skinny, and we are doing a commercial for him. So that's what this footage is from, if you were wondering. I'm just going to do a quick edit on this one because it's very long. I'm going to just go right about here. I'm going to hit S to split it, and then I'm going to go right about here just to keep it small, and there you go. So, and I'm also going to delete the audio just because we don't need that. So check it out. This footage is slightly bouncing, and so is the beginning footage. You see that? And that's because it's just regular handheld. It just happens when you're holding the camera. But it would look better if it was just, very stationary. So to do that in Sony Vegas, it's so easy. Just right click on the footage, go up to Stabilize Media, and you have all these presets. So you can either choose one of these presets. They work great, like all these, if you have just general, medium analysis, like handheld camera, really we could use one of these, just a slow moving scene or something. But I usually just, there's one setting for everything I usually use that it just works for everything. So I put this up to the notch right under best. See, there's only one more notch. And then I put the pan and tilt I can't talk. I'm nervous. Pan / tilt stabilization all the way up to 60. Same with roll stabilization all the way up to 60. And I leave these two alone. And this seems to work for everything. Just hit apply, and it will do the little render screen. And it might take your computer a little longer. My computer's a beast. So yeah, now look at it. Perfectly still. Look at that. Well, I mean, it goes a little bit up. And if you can't notice, I'm just going to hit Control Z so you can see. You see that? It zooms in a bit with the effect applied. This is it without the effect. You see? And then I'm going to hit Control Shift Z to redo it, and it zooms in a bit. That's just to compensate for the little edge that it creates, because if it didn't do that, you would see black bars up here from the footage bouncing around. So that little zoom, it's not even that bad. And same thing with this. Let's do it real quick. Stabilize Media. Oh yeah, check this out. So when you edit a piece, if you edit a piece down and then you want to stabilize it, it'll say, hey, caution, you're only going to be editing this 22%. So if you do the stabilization and then you scroll it out, only this part will be stabilized. So just make sure you have your final cut before you do the stabilization, okay? Hit yes, and we're just going to do, not the settings, we're going to just do it up. Check this out. It goes to the render window once again, and boom. Look at that. Perfectly stable. It's amazing. So easy. So much easier than After Effects. I gotta give it to Sony Vegas right here. This is just amazing. And you guys might want to see, one of the presets or something. So I just hit Control Z so I can use one of these presets. Let's do handheld camera, fast moving scene, and just see how it looks, compared to what we already did. It's taking a bit longer, which is strange. Let's see. And it's still a little bouncy. That's weird. So I guess my settings just are way better. I guess I'm just the best, you know. And now I already know what you guys are wondering. Eli, what if I stuck crack up my butt and I freaking filmed a scene and could not hold the camera still? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, if you have something like this, it's not going to turn out very well, alright? So maybe film the next day once the crack in your butt cools down or something. Watch. I'll just prove it to you, okay? Let's even go. Let's start with this. Rescue extremely shaky footage. Okay. Let's see if it even you know, puts a dent in it. I doubt it will. Yeah. See, and I was about to get to that, guys. Well, here, let's do mine because it still does a better job than that. Don't use the presets, guys. Just use mine. Right, the notch under 60, 60. Don't mess with those two, and apply. It does a way better job on everything, and it's a lot faster too. Okay, guys. Now I'm going to tell you about something called the Jello effect. Check out what's going on here. You see that weird waviness that's going on in the footage? Kind of like it's a piece of Jello. Well, that happens because if you check out the original footage, look at that. It's just so jaggedy and just insanely tough to even see that the camera meshes together the pixels, and so it's not even its fault really. It's the footage that when you had to crack up your butt, it just made it so insanely unusable that the stabilization can't even save it. So my suggestion to you is to try to keep it as steady as possible when it's handheld, and I guarantee that your shots will come out way better like this. They may be zoomed in a little bit, but they'll come out pristine and beautiful. So yeah, that's the Jello effect. That's not even After Effects can fix this, guys. So just a little helpful hint. Try not to go crazy, okay? Alright, so now let's do the After Effects portion. Now let's just drag and drop this footage. I'm only going to do one just because it's so easy in After Effects and you have a lot more control. So hopefully I don't have to explain this to you, how to create a new composition by now. I'd be ashamed. Be like you guys haven't learned anything over the past, you know, couple videos I've made. Let's just call this boob. I don't know why, because I'm immature and just silly. So if you don't have the tracker options down here, you just go to Window and you select Tracker. See, I don't have it down there anymore. You just go to Window, Tracker, and it'll pop up. Go to Stabilize Motion. Now let's zoom in. When you're doing this in After Effects, you need to pick a point that stays in the video the whole entire time. So, and make sure that's also high contrast. It's the same thing as tracking motion. If you guys haven't seen that tutorial, I'll put a picture up here. It was one of my earlier tutorials, and I'm telling you guys I'm not very good at tutorials, but so yeah, don't go too hard on me, but it's pretty much the same concept. You want to pick a high contrast area, make this part small, the selection small in the middle, then you want to make the search area way bigger, like out here. It'll take a little bit of time, but you'll get way better results. So I'm going to go to the beginning of the footage. Just make sure I'm at the beginning. Then you're going to hit this Analyze Forward. And you can also do it by frames, but analyzing it forward is just way easier. So yeah, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to bring you guys back when it's done, okay? So see you soon. Alright guys, welcome back. Basically I just finished tracking the footage, you see that? And I picked a good spot, it didn't screw up at all. And what I mean by screw up is if you zoom in here, or I'll zoom it a little bit out, basically what might have happened to you guys if you guys are having issues is it'll get to a point and then it'll just like jump over here or jump somewhere. When that happens, you need to hit spacebar immediately. You need to backtrack using the analyze one frame back, and basically you need to just zoom in, and you need to put the point, like the tracker, you need to put it where it's supposed to be automatically. Then you can keep going forward. And at that point, if I were you, I would just analyze one frame at a time from then on, because you might not have as good footage or you didn't pick a good point. So My suggestions are, do it frame by frame or try to find a different point. So continuing on with the tutorial now, make sure that you have the track type to stabilize and only on position, because normally in footage that's all you need, and if you click these other ones it'll screw everything else up. So yeah, just make sure that everything is set to the defaults, then hit apply, then hit OK with X and Y, and boom, you're done. Looks great. Nothing's wrong with this now. So I was such a bad joker, I don't know why I do that. But yeah, in Sony Vegas you saw it zoom in, and if it didn't zoom in, this is what you would have saw. Let's just make it black. This is exactly what you would have seen. Would have been all bouncy and confusing. So something that I noticed is right away it jerked. So I'm just gonna get rid of that beginning part so I don't even have to deal with that. I'm gonna trim comp to work area. So now I'm dealing with it just right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the boob layer because I want to get rid of that black, correct? So I'm going to hit S for scale. I'm going to scale it up just like it did in Sony Vegas. Maybe a little bit more. And then push it down a little bit. And now it's way easier to keep it scaled like this. There is another way around it, guys, that I will show you. I'll scale it down just a bit, just so it gets a little bit of black in it. So sometimes some black will appear. Actually, it's still a little too good. Let's just say that it's unavoidable, that you can't zoom in, and that you need some of that black showing sometimes. So my suggestion would be to get rid of it, like only the points that is necessary. I don't need that last back part. So I'm going to trim comp once again. So it just gets rid of that insanely big black spot down there, which is not racist. So here's what you're going to want to do to, we're going to put something called motion tile on. Okay, guys? So we're going to go over here and we're going to click motion tile, is it called? No, it's not called that. What is it called? What's the effect called? I forget. This is why I should practice my tutorials before I do them. Stylize. Oh, there it is right there. Motion tile. I guess it was called motion tile. I'm an idiot. We're going to hit mirror edges, and then we're going to output the width. Yeah. The width to like 120 and the height to like 120. And it should just fix it and do a good enough job to cover it enough to the point where it's not like, oh my goodness, that's crazy. If someone wasn't looking at it, then they wouldn't, or if someone wasn't looking at it, it's a video. So you guys make me so nervous. If someone wasn't like paying close attention, they wouldn't notice that you put an effect on to cover that up down there. See? I mean, it's not too bad. It's not the best. That's why the scaling option is way better. But this is just another option. If it's unavoidable, you can do this. And since it's kind of a complex scene with grass, like that's why it didn't work too good. Most of the time, it works pretty well. So yeah, that's basic motion tracking in both Sony Vegas and After Effects. And you know what? I never really show me rendering anything, so I'm gonna scale this up a bit, just because it works better on this one. Yeah, so scaled it up a bit. Now let's go to composition, make movie. Then we're going to go to lossless. We're going to go to QuickTime, and just so your files aren't insanely big, make sure you're on Photo JPEG right here. You see that? Photo JPEG. Quality at best. Hit OK. And you can include audio if you want. It's not necessary for what I'm doing right now, so I'm going to hit OK. And output to desktop. We're going to call this boob After Effects. Save. And then we're going to hit render. And while that's rendering, it's going to go really quick. Let's just render out this one. Okay, let's go to File, Render As, and let's call this Boob Sony Vegas. And this is my new render settings that I'm using. I I'd never looked this up before. There's something called oh, I love that sound, by the way, but there's something called H.264, guys. It's my favorite codec, and I thought Sony Vegas didn't have it, but there is a version of Sony Vegas a version of H.264 that Sony Vegas can render. So go to Sony AVC/MVC, then we're going to go to custom, and just make sure your settings are at AVC, high def, high, all this stuff, you know, just read it, and then make the bit rate 18 million. I don't know why that reminded me of Austin Powers, but yeah, hit OK, and then we're gonna render this too. And this is a way better codec. This is gonna be way smaller, and so I'm gonna show you guys the different file sizes real quick, and then after that I can say goodbye, and then you guys can see what you created. And once again, I'm going to put all this stuff in a download for you guys. So let's go to properties. Okay, so this is only 10 megabytes in the H.264, and it's really good quality. And we're going to go properties. This one is 121 megabytes. Isn't that just crazy, guys? And I will give a comparison with both of these at the very end so you guys can see. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys learned something about stabilizing footage and such, and hopefully wasn't such a bad tutorial. We love you guys so much, and thanks so much for all the support you guys give us. And you will see me next Friday, and you will see a tutorial from Brandon on Tuesday. So just, you know, keep the good times rolling, you know, as the old folks say. And oh yeah, you guys like my background? Look how cool this is. Leave a comment saying Minecraft poop is a beast series if you lasted this long, okay? Alright guys, so last thing that I wanted to bring up is it's Brandon's birthday today, so happy birthday, Brandon. And everyone else that is watching this, please leave a comment on like one of our old videos, or just spam all of our videos. I don't care. Just tell Brandon that you love him and happy birthday. Show him that you guys like really appreciate what he does, because he's awesome. And yeah, so with that, I guess I'll say goodbye, and I will see you next Friday. Later.